I'm Rabbi Yitzchak Shachet, Rabbi of the Mill Hill United Synagogue and Chairman of the Rabbinical Council of the United Synagogue. This week's question is, what is Lag BaOmer? What is the uniqueness of this particular day? To be sure, the word Lag is not a Hebrew word as such, but represents the numerical value of 33, signifying the fact that the day is the 33rd day of the Omer. The Omer count commences on the second day of Pesach and concludes just at Shavuot. Generally speaking, this time span is considered a sad period on the Jewish calendar because historically this was when the disciples of Rabbi Akiva died on account of a unique or unusual plague, which the Talmud defines as some form of severe croup. Rabbi Akiva himself was the one who often purported the notion of, and you shall love your fellow as yourself. This is a foremost fundamental principle of the Torah. As such, his disciples, who demonstrated some sort of lack of respect toward one another, and from whom a higher standard of love and camaraderie was certainly expected, perished as a result of this lack of behavior. It was on Lag BaOmer that this plague ceased and the disciples stopped dying, and that in itself, therefore, signifies a time for celebration and indeed perhaps also a time for reflection to consider what it is that we're doing in demonstrating love for our fellow Jew as well. But above and beyond all this is also the fact that on the 33rd day of the Omer, this marks the passing of the famed Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, renowned for having authored the Zohar, the principal work of Kabbalah, which paved the way for all subsequent Kabbalistic teachings throughout all of the generations. One might ask, if it's the day of his passing, why indeed are we celebrating it? First and foremost, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai insisted on the very day of his passing, prior to his demise, that this should be a day of great celebration, particularly because this was the day in which he finished the last bits of writing the Zohar. Indeed, when we talk about celebrating a yahrzeit, an anniversary of one's passing, the significance of this is because, as mysticism itself teaches us, the day of one's passing marks the culmination of all the work and all the deeds and all the teachings of that particular individual and the zenith of its impact on our lives. The way Kabbalah mysticism has impacted Jewish life in general is in fact indeed immeasurable. We light bonfires all through Israel and everywhere else besides as a means of celebration to mark this, because the word Zohar itself actually means to shine, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai instructed us to mark the celebration in this sort of way.